What's up, everybody? And thank you for joining me on the Dance Floor podcast, the only podcast for dancers in San Antonio, Texas. I am your host, Demetrio Solis, and join me for round two. And I don't mean by dance battling. Help me give a warm welcome to NXG's team lead, Marques Rivera Mireles. Yay!
How's it going, everybody? We back at it. The
Back at
remix,
it.
round two.
Round
It's
two.
because the first one, we had too much fun, where we had the music going on in the background,
Yes.
and then YouTube just muted the whole podcast. But it's all good, though. We back at it,
It
2025.
was a lot of good information as well.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about everything. Now we got to try to talk back onto it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll recap.
Yeah,
Give
yeah,
a
we'll
little
let it
summary
flow.
from the first one. It
Yeah.
was a great discussion.
Yes, it was. So go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, where you from, all that other good stuff.
All right, cool. So my name is Marques Rivera Mireles, born and raised here in San Antonio, Texas. I would consider myself a professional dance teacher, dance performer, and I guess dance competitor, as you would say. I'm a member of the NXG dance crew here in San Antonio, Texas. We've been out here in the community consistently for over 16 years. We just celebrated our 16-year anniversary in December.
Nice.
Pretty much, I mean, full-time teacher right now, and then of course doing all the side hustles that we can do, whether it's private lessons, graphic designs, video editing, and then the soft play business and chair and table rental that me and my wife do. So
Nice.
pretty busy, stay
Yes,
busy, stay
yes.
booked,
I see
always
you.
doing
I see
something.
you too on social media. I mean, I'm actually watching everybody, you know what I mean, and getting inspired by all of you guys. Because I mean, I'm not, I don't even know the label thing. It's like I'm coming in new into the community. That's where I want to put myself, and meeting everybody. It's awesome, and I love it. And you guys are inspiring me. You know, I mean, no matter how many years you've been doing this, some people say I'm professional, some people say whatever they say, but I mean, to me, it's keeping up with everybody, and everybody's winning, and I'm proud of everybody and what they're doing. So.
Definitely. I mean, I would consider you like, because I know you say like with the community, as far as like the street dance community goes.
Yeah.
But I think you were in the professional realm where you're doing choreography, teaching, and doing quinceañeras and stuff like that. So that's still considered within the scene. It's just a different umbrella, as you would say.
Yeah.
Because dance does have, you know, a wide range of things that you can do, whether it's, you know, performing, battling, teaching, showcasing, judging. I mean, there's so many things and avenues that you could be successful in, and I feel like you already had your avenue where you're successful in, and that's the avenue that you stayed in. And I mean, hey, that you're a professional in the realm that you're in for the where you put in work.
Yes. Starting off in the beginning, so where we met, we started following each other on social media first.
Yes.
Where it came about, I think it was an music video that I did. It was just, you know, back and forth on social media and stuff. And we actually met at, what event was it?
I think it was
at
like
Sky Bar.
Yeah, it was at Sky Bar that we first met. I think it was like an influencer night or something like that. It was like a networking event, and you invited us out, and we went to go out, and it was pretty cool. That's when
a
we
lot of fun.
finally met face to face, because yeah, we did interact with each other on social media before meeting in person. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And then ever since then, like, we're able to collaborate on some stuff, as well as sending you some gigs, because
Yes, I
man, my
appreciate that.
schedule.
Thanks,
Oh
thanks.
yeah, of course. And see, that's one of the things that I always believe too, for those that are coming on, whether you're entrepreneurs, whether, you know, it's in the dance world or not in the dance world, like, you know, you got to spread the wealth. Like, if you can't do it, don't be the gatekeeper to keep all the opportunities to yourself. Like, you got to spread the wealth. Like, I mean, there was like what, 3 or 4 quinces I couldn't do, and I just referred him, and you did amazing work.
Thank you.
I mean, they reached out to me, and they were like, oh my gosh, like, he was amazing. I was like, yep, I got to send you the best. So
Yeah.
always spread the wealth to those around you, you know, whether you're in the same, you know, business, the same thing that you do. If you're not available, always refer, you know, those that you know. Like, that's how you build a community, and that's how you foster growth within that community.
Right. Because, I mean, what you would say is like, you want to make sure you're referring to somebody that is about it, you know what I mean? And not
Yes.
trying to scam somebody. Like, you can't be new to the field and then send somebody, and then you're the person gets scammed, there's a lot of that going around as well. So
That's very true.
once again, I appreciate that, the referment. Going to NXG dance group. So how did that come about?
So basically, the story stays the same. Like, it was created by me and one of our old original members, Popping Tim. He's not in the crew anymore, but of course, through the years, when we first started, we had so many members in it from the beginning because we just recruited people who just loved dance and just wanted to have fun on the dance floor. So everybody and their mamas was a part of the crew. I think we had like over 40 to 50 members. But it was fun, it was created during a time of just like, hey, let's put something together. And ever since then, the rest is history, from performing to paddling to, the beef, the drama in the scene. Like, it's kind of just like the movies, but not so, played out. But it is kind of like real life stuff.
It's Hollywood, guys.
Yeah,
Don't believe everything you see on
is.
TV. Just because you start something doesn't mean you have to beef with the next person.
Yeah,
okay?
that's very, very true.
In time, you will grow out of that.
Yeah, and it's been fun. It's been a great journey. Met so many people, collaborated with so many people, had a lot of fun, made a lot of memories, and looking back on everything, we just appreciate everybody that was a part of the group. Without people within the respective seasons that they've been in, we wouldn't be here without y'all. So nice. I mean, the shout out goes to every single crew member that was a part of the crew, whether it was for a week, a month, years, so on and so forth. Like, all of y'all take credit for that. As far as the way it started with the original four: me, Popping Tim, my cousin Cosmic, and my brother Spotlight. And then from then on, we just started recruiting from there. Matic, Just Incredible, and then Mia, Lovey. Like, everything just started as a domino effect from crew members that we started recruiting. And it was just such a great time, phenomenal time as well. Then, of course, too, I was also a part of other dance groups too, like in college, and performing with Unified Soul. The first group that I was a part of, shout out to Just Incredible, who's doing amazing work right now with this videography. But technically, the first crew that I was ever a part of was called FSK, Freestyling Crumpers. That's when Crump first hit the scene, when that movie Rise was out, and we would just go to all the quinces, sweet 16s, and just go bust out on the dance floor and stuff. So that's kind of how I got my first start within the dance community. And it wasn't until NXG that I had a dance name, because before then it was just I would introduce people to my government name. So it's pretty cool. So for those of y'all that don't know, like within the street dance community, you kind of give yourself an AKA, or you're given an AKA, like depending on how you dance and stuff. So my first dance name was Technique. Oh yeah, look, you can see it on the jacket.
Okay.
My first dance name was Technique. And then second dance name is Influence. I dance with this name mainly now because of the resemblance and the honor that it has for the dancer that passed me the name. Shout out to Lame, rest in peace. Phenomenal legend and crumper from our city who passed away a few years ago. And that's the main name that I rep, because I feel like it's, him still living on through the things that we do for the future.
Nice. I have heard of Lane before. I know we had Bianca. She kind of mentioned him, and I kind of catch on through the postings, So awesome story. So like everybody else, we're quinceañera crashers. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Going to every single hall and seeing who's having a quinceañera and just go crash it. Have you ever been kicked out of one?
Yes, we've been kicked out of a couple. So for those of y'all that know, back in the day where Callahan Ballroom is, there was like 5 ballrooms. So technically our go-to word or go-to saying that would get us in every single quince. So technically we didn't know any of the quinces or the Sweet 16 people. We just knew that a party was popping every weekend. Right. So we would just go, the security would be at the door and be like, oh, we're the dancers. And they would just let us right in.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
And that's how it always went. And of course, some those parties where they're strict, like, oh, no dance circles and stuff. Those are the ones that we got kicked out of, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but when we got kicked out of one, we just walked to the next one And then
Got
when we
it.
went to the next one, when the music started getting boring, we would go to the next one. So
So then
we
you
were
go back, yeah.
technically jumping from quince to quince in one night. I think in one night we probably went to like 4 quinces.
Wow.
It was crazy, you know, looking back, it was a fun time.
Did you ever get kicked out of like all of them and you had to go to a different location? Because back when I was, because I don't know how old are you?
Whew.
Oh, okay, we're not gonna
I'm
get to that.
35. Yeah,
35. Okay,
35
so you're
years
about the same.
young.
We're about the same age.
Yes.
So, but I'm 21.
Yeah, I'm
No,
21
I'm
too.
21. But no,
21.
so we're about the same age. So I think with us there was, I don't know if they're still around, Blanco Ballroom.
Yes.
Oh man,
Imperial,
I don't
Country
know.
Gold. Have you ever been? Were you going to Country Gold back then? No.
I think the place we would go because I had friends in San Antonio around Blanco West Avenue.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Blanco Ballroom.
Yeah, Blanco
And
Ballroom was
then out
popping
there in
too.
shirts, you had the Knights of Columbus, the VFW. At that time, the Civic Center wasn't around. It was just those two, and we kept it local. But then when I started meeting people in San Antonio, Blanco Ballroom was the spot. It was big, huge, and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah,
Yeah, we've been to a couple of those back
yeah.
in the day.
Wow. Okay. All right. So what is your dance style? What it was everything you know
Yeah.
how to dance.
So I'm, I guess, versatile. Like I do popping, which is the flexing and relaxation of your muscles. To keep it simple. Tutting, which is creating shapes and angles with your body. Waving, which is, I mean, self-explanatory, is like pretending your whole body is like the ocean or water.
Okay. Okay.
Scarecrow, which is another sub-style, toy man, puppet, crump. I can't fully break for breaking, but I know how to do like the 6-step, kick outs, top rocks, so like the basic stuff.
Right.
And then of course cumbias, like that was, you know, within the culture. Cumbias, a little bit of salsa. So it's like just well versed in what to teach for quinceañeras and sweet 16. So well versed in a lot of styles. But as far as the, I guess, street dance styles is just freestyle, popping, crump, waving, tutting. Those would be my go-to styles.
Got you. And have you ever taken like any dance classes, like signed up for like any dance schools or academies,
So
or were you self-taught?
So self-taught, influenced, and I would say inspired through like my friends, family, like growing up. Because, you know, shout out to my cousin Cosmic. He's the one that kind of got me and my brother dancing. And it just kind of blossomed to where, you know, I never really took a dance class. I always tell this to my students in the studios that I teach, or if I come out and do like a guest teaching, is I let them know, like, you know, my studio was in the living room or outside, no AC, no floors, like, you know, it's just self-taught. We would watch a music video, get inspired, and then try to do those moves
Right.
outside or in the living room with the space that we had. And, you know, it's kind of a different story to where it's like I didn't take classes till like after college, whereas like freestyle classes, whether it's crump workshops that I took or popping workshops, hip hop workshops that were, you know, from pioneers and OGs in the game. So I didn't take workshops till later in life, till like after, like in my late 20s. So
That's okay. It's okay. I just started taking them
different.
too. Now that I'm like getting into the community and I'm meeting all these dancers, I'm gonna see that they do workshops. I'll take a few classes. Remember, you're always learning.
Yes.
You're always learning, and that's you can learn from somebody else, different moves, different styles and stuff. So I don't know if you ever watched the last podcast with Bianca. Shout out to Bianca Maldonado.
Bam, bam.
So she covered a lot of the crump
Yeah.
with me. So is there anything, and no tea, no shade, that maybe she forgot out to leave about crump?
Well, I mean, crump, everybody has like, you know, their own storyline, their own path, their own beginning, and the continuation of stuff. And man, that podcast was wild. I don't remember every tidbit of information, but I would say that, you know, it's a street style of expression. And, you know, if you want to learn, you can reach out to her, you can reach out to me. Like, I mean, to me, it's about learning and growing the style, the community, so on and so forth. So for those that are interested in learning crump, hit me up.
So for a lot of people that don't know what tutting is, kind of give a little example of the little tutting.
So tutting has evolved a lot because, of course, different people execute the style differently and how they express themselves. So tutting is just like you know, boxes where you're keeping 90-degree angles and you're using shapes, and then also like straight lines too, like how you use your body. So it's kind of like just using that, but like now people have evolved it to where, you know, they're bone breaking with their tutting.
Right.
They're, you know, adding waves to their tutting. Like, I mean, pretty much like once you learn a style and once you embody that style, then you can create your style within that style where you express it how you want to manipulate it and stuff like that. So technically, like I say, like with any style of dance, you got to learn the basics, the foundation, the history. Once you do, and once you have that solid foundation, then from that foundation, you can create your own path and how you want to express and execute that style. And that's when you make it your own.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I know what tutting came. I think I was introduced by a kid. I don't know if you know him. But he got into tutting, and it was the group that I was doing it on New Braunfels. Izzy Morales.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I guess so. I don't know where he's at right now. So is he still around? Or?
I think he's like hardcore into like video marketing and stuff.
Yes,
I haven't seen him in a while, but I remember back in the day he would pop up in and out of the scene. He's a really dope dancer.
Yeah.
Because he breaks too.
Does he now?
He does, yeah.
Okay.
But it's been a while since I talked to him, met up with him and stuff.
Because with him, Izzy, if you're watching, I remember with him, it was a quinceañera on New Braunfels, and he was one of the kids that was just sitting there. I was like, hey, you want to do this? You want to try? So he got up and he tried and he loved it. And then that's when he started going, look, I got this.
Yeah.
He started doing all these the little gloves with the lights and everything. He got into all that. And when I came back from Hawaii, I saw some videos from him. Some people, Izzy Morales, and I was like, he looks familiar. And I was like, oh, that's that little kid that was sitting on the bench. And I was like, come on, let's try this dance. And he got into it. So he got into all that stuff. And then I saw he was doing the Spurs out there, performed. So awesome job, bro. I'm proud of you. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm proud of you. So an easy step. Let's do a little tut. Teach me how to do a little tut.
So I guess we can keep it basic.
Yeah.
So we'll just do like a first square. So tutting box,
Like this?
And then make sure your elbow's straight.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. So this would be 1, 2.
Wait, 2?
And then you go down 3. That same box. 4.
4.
Good. And then 5. 6.
I think I'm lost already.
Oh, you're good. You're good. 5. 6. 7. 8.
Okay. So
everything kind of tutting. So all you do, technically it's called foursquare. So you just move the box from the right side to the left side to the bottom. Okay. And it's the same box over and over.
This way, this one stays, I already forgot.
Yeah, and then this one stays flat and up. So you're creating the box.
So it goes this way.
There you go. And then that same box, you
just
put it down.
So I'm doing the box with my hands.
Yeah.
And then you come right here. Or is this right?
Up.
Oh. Up.
And then this one.
And then up.
Open.
Oh, okay. So just.
There you go.
Oh,
so you switch. Yeah.
So all I could just imagine making a box right here and I'm doing this is the top.
Yeah, and then this is holding the bottom. Side, so you move it more this way.
And then I come up
so now you're moving the box. And then you put it the other side and then you put it down.
Gotcha.
There you go. And then you switch it to the other side. Yeah.
I get it.
And then the creativity part comes where you can
my
stop.
Box looks all
You can stop on level 1 and then you can put your head, or you can put it on the top. Okay. You can put it here. You can put it here. But it's like, see, just from that variation, I created 1 move, 2 moves, 3 moves, 4 moves. And for those that want to learn more freestyle development and stuff, I can take you into a deep dive into my curriculum to make you a phenomenal freestyle dancer.
Awesome. So who got you into, or inspired you to do tutting?
For tutting? Oh, that's a good question.
Because we all have someone that inspires us or motivates us.
I feel like the first person that inspired me to dance was Chris Brown. The Run It music video. When I saw the Run It music video, that's what got me inspired to start dancing. And it was in a process when I was healing too, because this was I believe my freshman or sophomore year in high school, maybe my freshman year in high school, where I busted my knee during basketball tryouts and I couldn't play basketball. And during, that time of healing and stuff, like I couldn't be on my knee and stuff, and I would just watch TV and music videos. And then, you know, I'd be sad, depressed because I can't play ball. So during that time, that's when I found the love for dance, was that music video.
Gotcha.
Then, of course,
That's a great video.
Missy Elliott's music video. So yeah, you know what? Actually, it was from Missy Elliott's video from the Tutty. Because there's, I forgot,
Was it the?
I don't know if it's Gossip Folks.
Oh, okay.
Where they're like all right here and they switch. Like it was
Missy
dope.
Elliott's got some crazy
Oh,
videos.
yeah.
I think
Missy Elliott always had all the like dancers in her music videos highlighting
I
them.
think one that stuck out for me is that one. Music make you lose control.
Yes.
Then,
It might be that one too.
Maybe
it might
yeah.
be that one.
That was a crazy video. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
And then
That's probably where I was exposed to Tutty first.
yeah. And then what got me into hip hop was Sierra.
Which one? 1 2 Step?
All of them, dude.
All of
1
them?
2 Step. The whole album, Evolution to what is it? Evolution to Dance?
Yes.
Yes. Just all of that. Just all her music videos. All that. It just got me into hip hop. What was that one? Dun 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 dun. I'm not a good imitator.
I'm not good with.
With Chameleonaire.
You got me. I don't know.
If you guys know, drop it in the comments or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that got me into hip hop. All right. So what other dances do you do?
I would say
You got hip hop.
just waving,
Everybody's
popping,
hip-hop.
crump, tutting, and then I feel like I can teach more styles than what I do when I compete. Because when I compete, I stick to like a certain styles, but then I can do other styles as well. Like when I'm in the cypher, just freestyling and chilling. But you know, I guess it just varies on what it is. Because of course, if I get booked by a client to do like choreography and stuff, then that's different.
Right.
So.
You got different lanes you can
Yes.
get into.
I try to make myself versatile to where I dabble in a lot of different styles. So when I get booked, whether it's for a performance or teaching choreography or just doing a private lesson, I'm well versed and I can, you know, switch to this lane, switch to this lane, switch to this lane. And I feel like that's what keeps me busy, to where if I'm not being booked to perform, I'm being booked to judge. If I'm not being booked to judge, I'm being booked to showcase. If I'm not being booked to showcase, I'm being booked to battle, and then so on and so forth, teaching choreography. So it's like all the different lanes that you have with dance. It's like I position myself to where I can, you know, be utilized in every single one of them.
Oh, gotcha. And when you say like it's just one of you and so many things going on, you can't. The way I like to put it is, they're not Pokemon. Everybody's gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. You can't.
Yeah.
And this is another reason why I want to know everybody too, so that way I can be like, hey, there's one of me. You know, I can't do it, but call Marques. You know, and so if he's not available, he'll pass it down the tree.
Pass it on. Yep.
So it's always good to always collab like that and know the next person. So what is the youngest that you teach?
Shoo, I could teach all the way till, like when I do private lessons, I always say like ages 5 and up, because you know, I've taught classes where there's 5 and 6 year olds that can catch on like this.
Yes.
And I feel like it depends on the kid as well, because if they want to learn dance and stuff and they do it naturally, they're gonna want to learn. And so I think the youngest I can go from teaching is 5 to 6, and then all the way up till whatever age.
I think you can tell whether or not the student wants to be there versus being forced to be there.
Definitely.
Like, who all do you have in your crew? How long have they been there? I know there's Kid Raw that's always sticking out to me.
Mayhem, Spotlight, Jedi, Odious, Dre, Lovey, and I don't want to miss anybody out from the top of my head. Cosmic.
It was put on the spot, you guys.
Yeah,
this
Magic
this
Lot.
wasn't the dialogue.
Kid Mayhem, of course me, my brother Spotlight. I think that was all 13 that I named. If I forgot anybody, my apologies. I'm just going off the top. Oh, Payne, who's actually doing the Marines right now. So everybody, like if I wasn't able to name everybody, I apologize, because I'm just doing it off the top of my head. But right now, like, I mean, even through the years, like back then we would be battle heavy. Like we would travel a lot and do a lot of crew trips, and then performances, and then showcases and workshops. And then now that we're all like adults now and stuff, it's kind of like everybody grew into their responsibilities as being an adult. And you know, some people can be active in dance, and then others cannot. And then, you know, of course too, life happens. Like different obligations, different priorities shift where your focus is, and that's fine. That's okay. I just know that for myself, I've always, implanted to where I always got inspired and motivated by all my crew members that, if people were on their off season, then I'm going to make sure that I stay consistent with the crew to put us on a certain, platform to where we're still doing events, we're still doing workshops, we're still performing, we're still battling, just to show that, just because, some crew members are not active, the ones that are still holding the crew's name up. So,
Gotcha.
and that's kind of how we maneuver. And then we handle everything like a democracy to where we vote. It's a majority votes. Oh, shout out to Alo too, because Alo was the most recent crew member that we recruited last year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's the longest person that's been in the crew besides you? What, so are you a team leader, the owner, founder?
So
I saw team leader.
It's because I'm the leader of the crew. Like, I was one of the creators of the crew. But I always, tell my crew too, it's like I still have one vote. I still treat myself as a humble person to where like I get ideas and concepts from everybody. It's not just because I'm the leader, it's whatever I say goes. No, it's like, here's an idea, here's concepts, like what do y'all vote on? Like what do we decide as a crew?
Yes, sir.
And that's how we do things. And that's how we've always done things, because it's more of taking myself like out of that leadership title position to where it's like, no, like my vote still counts as one, and I need to humble myself and use the quote that we is greater than me.
Right.
And that's something that we've, lived through with when it comes to the crew. And as far as those that stayed with the crew the longest, it would have to be my brother Spotlight and Cosmic, because we were like a part of the original four. Like the only one that's not a part of the crew still is Poppington, which was the other creator.
How would you say, keeping a crew this long, how would you say what keeps it together?
Okay, that's a good question. What keeps it together is just, bond, relationship, keeping up with each other. And I mean, it's dance. So what I've learned through the years is that everybody's different. Everybody has different personalities. Everybody has different backgrounds. Everybody has different upbringings. So I felt like we were just a lot of different people, but we had a similarity within dance. So since we all came to dance, this is kind of where we built our bond and our relationship, something that we shared with one another. So I felt like what keeps it strong and going through the years is consistency. Like that's our bread and butter as a crew, is consistency. We've always hosted at least 2 to 3 events every year, no matter what. Like we're probably the most consistent crew in San Antonio.
I see that.
That I can say that we've had consistent sessions, we've had consistent events, and there hasn't been one year where we didn't have an event. Like we've been on this for 16 years straight. Like
That's what's up.
Yeah. So I would say consistency is our bread and butter.
Nice. So, because even though I'm doing my own thing, I mean, you and your group are inspiring me to create my own group, because there's a lot of young kids that I'm kind of, inspiring, and they want to, hey, let's go out dance. Okay, fine, so let's dance. So not to say like I'm trying to do what you're doing. Me personally, dude, I want to do something that nobody else is doing.
Yeah,
you know, and so I do want to thank you also for the whole the humbleness and showing your support as well. I'm showing my support. This T-shirt, guys, is actually from his shop. I've ordered a lot of them as well. So I encourage everybody to purchase from his shop, because this will also promote for you too.
Yeah,
when I wear his merch, people, are you a dancer? You're a dancer? I'm like, yeah. Oh, what do you dance? I dance this, that, whatever the case is. They say, oh, what is your social media handles? I give it to them. So that gives me a follower. And then, tagging him and all the NXG crew, gives everybody a follow. I'm a big supporter of your merchandise.
I
It's
really
dope.
appreciate
It's
that.
dope. It's dope.
I mean, to add on to that, like I know how you said that you don't want to like seem like you're copying and stuff, and it's not so much that it's copying. I would say to if that's the path you want to take it, because technically it's like when you talk to people who've been in the game for a while, this is where you get the gems, and you don't make the same mistakes that we made in the past, and you get to where you want to get faster. And I feel like that's the point of mentorship. That's the point of spreading the wealth to others, because at the end of the day, like we all want to be successful in a certain realm or thing that we want to do. And I highly encourage you and your group to see what you like, see what you don't like, see what's out there different. Like, I mean, you get inspirations not just from our own city, but from everywhere.
Right.
Because I know there's a lot of dancers in the scene that, you know, are more in the choreography scene and taking studio classes and stuff that I don't know about. And I mean, I feel like through the years, probably like since I've been teaching a lot, I haven't been like super active in the battle scene like I used to. So I know like there's new dancers in Austin, Dallas, Houston that have no idea who I am because
Right.
I haven't been, you know, traveling and battling like I used to like 6, 7 years ago when I was always traveling to those cities, and when we would pull up as a crew and stuff, they're like, oh, okay, we know that's NXG and stuff like that. So we kind of have a gap of years to where we haven't been in the scene that long, to where like the new people coming up, the new generation, they probably seen us or have heard about us, but they've never like seen us in person.
Gotcha. And what would you say, like, okay, so like joining or starting a new group, you have people in and out, and they say they're down, you know, but they don't commit to it. So how would you say, like, I wanted to join the group? What does it take for somebody to join the group? And now,
Oh, for NXG?
yes,
Oh,
or anything, you know, like
yeah, I know. So I guess every group is different on how you do it.
it's
So
not
I
like
guess
a gang. We gotta jump you in.
yeah.
No.
In a way, there is a process, and I can get to that talk after. But I'll answer like kind of your first wondering, like the first way to get started to a group, of course, is just finding like-minded individuals coming together and having a collaborative vision and dream that you'll want to accomplish together. Because a shared vision will keep people together for the longer road. So I guess to give like advice for those that want to start a dance group and stuff like that, just know that it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Like you're going to definitely go through different choices and decisions that you have to make, whether personal life interferes or stuff. It comes down to your own struggles and how you navigate through it. Just make sure that you're genuine and you're transparent and you're just straight up. Like, you know, if work's taking over your work schedule, you can't make the practice.
Yeah.
Make it known. Like, let them know. If you're
Communication.
transparent in your communication, people will understand. But if you just ghost and don't show up, people are going to assume that you're not dedicated, that you don't want to be a part, and then that's when the drama and stuff can come about. But then talking about being a part of NXG, it's a whole process. Like, we make you wait for a year to see your hard work, dedication, how you communicate with us, supporting our events, sharing, spreading out the word about our events, and then you training on your craft, hanging out with us to see how you are as an individual, how you carry yourself as a person, and then it leads into where we do rounds, where it's kind of like you're getting jumped in a crew, but you don't get beat up or anything.
Okay.
It's just like
Good.
shout out to Alo because when she got in the crew, she went multiple rounds with me, Spotlight, Odious, Kid Raw, and Kid Mayhem. So she only had to battle 5 crew members.
So you have to win.
Before, you would have to battle all the crew members. Okay. But the way it works is that how Alo did it, she went first, then me. Then she went again, Kid Mayhem. Then she went again, Kid Raw. Then she went in again, Spotlight. Then she went in again, Odious.
Yeah,
so that's just 5 rounds that she had to go. But that just counts as 1 round for all of us. So she did multiple of those.
Gotcha.
So she battled us like 4 times each. So she had a smaller cage compared to the other crew members. So, but when you do the math, if I had 5 rounds again, four rounds against her, that's 5 times 4. So she danced around 20 rounds.
Dang.
Yeah.
So do you have to win or?
So
well, there's no winning. I think
it's about
getting...
how she did. Like
Okay.
she was able to keep her composure. She repeated here and there, but she, you know, changed her moves up a bit, kept her head up. Like a lot of factors go into it when you're battling.
Nice.
Like keeping your head up, staying confident, make sure you're not repeating moves, coming out and going into moves differently. Like there's just like a different, you know, setup of skills that we do when it comes to battling.
Okay, nice. So, looking at all this, that NXG, everything that you succeed, everything that you're doing, was this always a goal for you, or you were just going with the flow?
Whew. I honestly feel like the greatest competitor was us ourselves. We felt like we were always competing against ourselves. How can we top ourselves? How can we top the last event? How can we top our last round? Like our focus and vision was always how can we beat the last version of ourselves? And that, I think that's been the bread and butter. Because yeah, of course, like in the scene, it's like, oh, who's the best crew? Who's the best individual? Who needs to battle who? Like all that stuff was fun and cool. But at the end of the day, it's like I never shied away from any battles. And when people were talking smack, we showed up. We pulled up. We battled. Like whether it was in the parking lot, whether it was outside of an event, during an event, like our crew was about all the smoke. Like we did not stray away from any battles. We would pull up when there's only a little bit of us compared to a lot of people, and crews would collaborate with one another to try and battle us and take us out. And hey, it is what it was back then, and it was fun. But I think at the end of the day, we always compared ourselves to ourselves, our older versions of ourselves, and that's how we're able to top ourselves and grow and get better through the years.
Has anything ever gotten like physical with anybody else?
No. Like, in all honesty, through the years, we've never, when it comes to dance, we've always handled it on the dance floor. And pretty much, I mean, there's been times where people try to get physical and stuff, and we told them straight up, like, no, you do not want to go that route, because
not worth it.
Majority of our crew members have hands, so
it's not worth it at the end.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, so we do not promote violence and stuff. Keep it on the floor. If you're gonna say stuff or talk mess, you need to back it up with your dance, because in the realm of street dance, like your skills speak. Your skills is your reputation.
Right.
So if you're over here talking, but then if I see you in the circle and we battle, and all that talk doesn't match to your skills, and I mean, I just had a recent battle this year. Where somebody was typing on Facebook. Yeah, it was bad. They were bumming their gums, and when I finally saw them in person, we went about like 4 rounds in the cypher, and they just couldn't keep up. And to me, it was just more of, it was a lot of ego talking. It's like, your skills are not matching up. Like, I'm done with this battle. Like,
so you would say it's kind of like boxing, right? They're doing it just for clout, right? Like trying to get you just to go. And I mean, yeah, so okay. So with the whole battling, when you say rounds, what's the most rounds you can go? Is it like boxing, 12 rounds, 9 rounds? Or will it be like, if I'm gonna challenge you, let's say I'm gonna challenge you, and I'm not a big battling or challenger person or competition, but let's say I want to battle you, and let's say, I'll go 9 rounds with you. I'll go, who chooses how many rounds?
I guess it goes. So when it comes to the amount of street dance, if somebody has beef or somebody wants to challenge themselves and calling somebody out, like in the cypher, it's unlimited rounds. So if you have beef with that person, y'all just keep going and going and going, and it never gets settled, like that battle can last forever. But then usually, sometimes somebody tires out or gasses out, then that's when the battle is finished. The most rounds,
so to the death.
Yeah.
To
exhaustion.
Yeah,
to exhaustion.
Yeah.
To exhaustion. But I would say, I mean, for now, I could probably give you a good solid, meaning like quality solid 5 to 7 rounds. Back then, when I was younger, when I was younger, I could give like 10 minimum. Like that's when I was like, I could do, like, my energy was high and stuff. So it's not as much as I used to, because age catches up. But
21, yeah,
21. Stay 21.
So when you say cypher, so I think this was on the last podcast. When you say cypher, I didn't know what it was. I see you guys saying it all the time. I didn't know what it was until I kind of guessed what it was. So if you can go ahead and...
Cypher is basically freestyle circle.
In the ring.
That's all it is a freestyle circle, whether it's a circle, whether it's a square, whether it's a triangle. It's basically where there's different modes of the cypher, where there is a vibe cypher, where people are just having fun and they're just passing energy to one another, and it's like a party vibe, or like a chill vibe, or like just like just vibing with each other. Then there's a cypher where it's skills talk, where if you see somebody that you're beefing with or they're talking, and like this is a moment where you call them out, and it's not like a contest where you have 1 round or 2 rounds. Like we going 5 rounds, 10 rounds, 15 rounds till we're done. Like that's where that's where the real battles happen, is multiple rounds. That's the culture. And ciphers is where you build your reputation.
So basically in the ring, you guys will take it to the cypher.
Yeah, take it to the cypher. That's the cipher is where the real battles happen. Anybody will tell you that.
So is there a place where you guys go, say like you meet up, or you guys always meet up, and let's just say, like the movies, let's take it back to Hollywood. You know, you're just there and you see somebody you're beefing with and be like, oh yeah, you're talking to that smack. Is it right then and there, or do you have to sign up for an event to get it there? Because I know you have an event coming up, which we'll talk about that here in a bit, and you're already posting this. How do you guys decide who's battling who?
Oh, okay, so when it comes to setup events, when we do exhibition battles, so exhibition battles or main event battles or battle cards, that's kind of like boxing, where you get one contender and you put them up against another contender. So the way we just match those up is like if we like a dancer, a certain style, like, oh, okay, who would be a good battle for them? And that's how we kind of match up the dancers. The one that we do have coming up is Crump versus Flex. So it's different to where it's one style versus another style. So it's kind of, it's going to be, this event's going to be dope. That's coming up in May, so don't miss it. So we lined up some crumpers that are a real dope lineup, and then some flexers. So flexing is like the bone breaking. So it's going to be high. These are going to be some intense high energy battles, and it's going to be fun. Like, it's going to be cool to watch. So definitely don't miss that. That's going to be May 30th and 31st, I believe. Hopefully I got those dates correct. But we do have the flyers and the event page, Crump vs. Flex 2025 on Facebook. But yeah, and like you said too, when it comes to beef battles, sometimes people are set up for a battle to where maybe they do have beef because that's what gets the people wanting to go see the event. But then also too, it's like if the beef doesn't get settled during that clash, then it's either taken in the ciphers. But if it's a crump battle, it's taken to the after session. So basically the after session is where beef battles happen for crump.
Nice. So have you ever had a rival with anybody?
Oh, many times. Well, not so much rival to where I saw somebody as a threat or anything. Like, I came into the game to where I always wanted to prove myself. Like, I always had a chip on my shoulder. So it's like with me, I was fearless. So if I saw somebody that was dope, regardless of the skill level I would go and battle them. I would call them out. So I would always be in the circle. I would be the first one dancing, the last one dancing. Nice. So that I would always have stamina for days. And I know back then too, it was like when I was in there, like my kind of mindset back then was just like, if you stop dancing, like you gassed out. Like I'm still here dancing, I'm still throwing rounds. So it's kind of like I always thought last man standing wins. And I think that's why I would always dance full out, always be in the cypher, always calling people out when I would travel. So when we would travel as a crew, like when I got booked to go to Colorado a couple of years ago, I battled like 4 dancers in the cypher, and then I had a main event battle. So I'm not like, usually within the dance culture, people like book you to judge and stuff. And usually when you judge, or if you're on a battle card, you just wait for that battle card, or you just wait to judge. Some judges don't get involved in the ciphers where they're calling more people out and stuff. Like me, I like to do it all. Yeah. Like that's the culture. Like for me, like I was brought up that way, and that's why wherever I go, like I'm bringing that fire. I got booked for an event coming up in Bryan, Texas in the beginning of May. So I got booked to judge, and I got booked to be on a battle card. So I'm going to start training for that battle card in like the next 3 days. I'm going to start my training because I've been busy. But in the ciphers for that Friday, day one, because the battle card's on Saturday, day one, I'm going to call out like a couple of their dancers in the cipher. Like, so I'm ready. Like,
you could be a judge and then call out somebody at the moment?
That's separate from the competition. Okay. So the competition or contest or however you want to call it is separate from the ciphers. Usually they have like prelims where people who signed up to battle, they do it, and then we have a break. And during the breaks, that's when the cipher circles happen, where the freestyle circles.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what I was going to ask.
So that's what's separate. The contest is the competition tournament, and the ciphers is just like
you want to call
during breaks.
Out while you're there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just dancing to the music that's on. You don't get to pick your music when it comes to cipher battles. But when it comes for call-out battles or battle cards that are set up, sometimes they pick their music.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice. One topic I wanted to talk about also, and I know it happened last year, but the Olympics. I wanted to talk about that, right? you had Reagan, right? I don't know how I should ask this, but what are your thoughts about the Olympics and how viral everything went with Reagan? Because I know you said on there, it's like, and it is, this is true, this facts, and I just want to say that I want to agree with it. It's a shame that something like that goes viral more than real talent.
Yeah.
It's a shame. And I agree, I 100% agree. Like, for me, my opinion is, you know what? She got out there. No matter she is Australia's, top,
Yeah.
breaker, she got out there, she did what she did, and I give her kudos. Now, everybody making fun of it and then started having dance battles, dance competitions just to play with it. I think that kind of offended me too. Like there was a place, I don't know if I should say the name, but there was a place that was like, oh, we're gonna have a dance competition, and I saw you stepped in.
Yeah.
I saw you stepped in, be like, hey, I kind of felt what you're saying, that it was an insult to the dance community as well. And I mean, so if you kind of go through the process on what happened, what also you do, because I think this is also what you do also, right?
Yeah, well, like, well, for breaking, like, I don't break myself. I do some basics and stuff, but I do have crew members that are engulfed in the community, and breaking is technically one of the first street style of dances that birthed the plethora of different styles and
Dancer's
stuff.
a dancer.
And I felt like when it comes to that situation, like, you can look at it in so many different ways. There's a lot of pros, and of course there's a lot of cons, but I felt like it's how you educate people, because I felt like even when that establishment, because we actually collaborated with them after that situation. So that's how, I guess I will use that as an example of how to carry on the community, where we're educating people rather than trying to attack them. Because for people that don't know about the culture, they are looked as, when they want to be a part of it and stuff and pop in because they have the resources, it's viewed as, oh no, you can't be doing that because you're not a part of the culture, so you shouldn't do that. And that's kind of like the wave of how dancers that are a part of the culture were attacking the situation. And I came about it more of the educating part, where it's like, hey, we appreciate that you want to do it, but there's a way to say it and promote it where you're not trying to disrespect the culture. And I think when we did that and we discussed that with the owner, like, we collaborated on an event to where we had an open styles competition. We had a great turnout, and owner, shout out to the owner for Sky Bar. He was the one that sponsored the whole thing for first, second, and third. Took care of the DJ, took care of the judges, and took care of the first, second, and third place winners. We're waiting for the next one to collaborate on, because I know, shout out to him as well, because he's been getting big contracts with all the sports leagues coming in and stuff, and they've been throwing huge events and stuff. So he's doing his thing, so he's doing good. And remember, he's looking at it as a business, like, what's going to bring money to my business. And I feel like that's where a lot of people, the culture of dance, and when business comes in, that's where people can get very aggressive, and when they don't understand something, they want to attack at it, because sometimes they say, if you're a real street dancer or you appreciate the art, you would do it for the love and not money and stuff like this. But it's like, I'm in the middle of it, to where it's like, no, I spent a lot of money to learn from OGs. I've spent a lot of money to learn from veterans in the game, to get gems, learn different type of stuff. And it's like, I've been in the game for over 16 years. So it's like, I'm a master within what I know. Well, not a full master, but I'm experienced to a certain degree of what I know when it comes to dance. So if I'm going to be teaching something that you want me, of course I'm going to charge, because it took me a long time of practice, dedication, and hard work to get to a certain level to teach what I know. So I always see it as, it's kind of like that cycle, because it's like, if you're over here passing out and paying OGs and veterans for the knowledge, and then you gain the knowledge, you train the knowledge, and once you get the knowledge down, it's your job to pass it on as well. And it just becomes that reoccurring cycle.
I actually respect them for you reaching out. Sometimes people be like, whatever, and not want to collab, but I respect Skybar. Shout out to you guys for, okay, let's do this, and to sponsor everything. And that's what's dope. By the way, Skybar, you guys, they have some awesome food. I go there Not a lot, but other times that I've been there, the food is awesome. What is the macaroni brisket is phenomenal.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hungry now. So we're gonna go into some other questions here. Can you share a pivotal moment that solidified your decision to pursue dance as a career?
I mean, to be honest, there was no really pivotal moment for me. It was kind of just going with the flow with everything with dance. It was something that I love to do. It was viewed as a hobby, and it accidentally turned into a career. That's the best way I can put it, is because one of the people that helped me. So I was basically a street dancer. Then I went to go experience Cali from one of my mentors, Victor, where we taught dance classes out there in California. Came back, had my first experience in teaching in the studio. Shout out Lisa from Smash Dance Studio. She was the first one to give me an opportunity to teach in the studio. And ever since then, like, that's when my teaching for dance just blossomed into teaching at different studios, organizations. Now I'm a full-time teacher at a charter school. So I felt like the process of where I was to where I'm at now is just giving a special thanks and shout out to all those that were a part of my journey, whether it's crew members, mentors, family, friends, everything. Like, everything that I've experienced through life, people have gotten credit for it, because it's more of like, I've learned from other people, to where if I've seen people make mistakes, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this differently.
Right.
Hearing mentors talk or talking to different people. I guess I would always seek out knowledge and wisdom and gems from everybody. Like, how did you do this? How did you do that? How did you do this? How did you do that? Oh, that's
pick and
cool.
choose what you want to do for people, and then you create your own also.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's how, like, I do what I do, and I stay consistent with my stuff. Like, I'm always constantly working on myself on how to beat myself.
Awesome. I love it. Love it. So before all this, when you were a little Marcus, what did you want to be when you grow up? You wanted to be a dancer?
Basketball.
Yeah.
I tell my students all the time, the first passion in life was basketball. Basketball was my love, my first love, as they say. And when I experienced what I did in high school, when I blew out I think it was my right knee, my freshman year, couldn't play, had to heal up. Sophomore year came, I busted my butt, made the team, did well, and then my left knee blew out. So my other knee blew out, so I couldn't play for the season. And then junior year came, busted my butt, did well. It's kind of like favoritism, where the school I played for, so when the football season finished, they benched me after I was doing real good in off season, so I quit. Senior year, I didn't even try out, because it was more of like, kind of get back at the coaches, like, nah. But I would play after they had practice, so in the open gym and rec shop, and the coaches would ask me, why didn't you play or try out? I was like, no, y'all play favorites. Like, y'all have favoritism. Like, I'm not gonna bust my butt like I did last year, and then you just bench me after football season was over. So I was like, no. And they felt a certain way about it, and they're like, oh, well, you can't come to open gym. And I was like, oh, okay. So it was just more of like, kind of like fighting the system type of thing. But it was basketball. That was my first love and passion. And that's why I tell the kids at school, because now it's kind of like full circle. Like, I'm teaching,
Now you're teaching
students like dance, like the second love of life. And then I coach basketball. Like, this is my second year coaching basketball and passing on what I love. I feel like it's just so cool on how God works in your life, to where what my passions were, and I wasn't able to take one passion to where I wanted to take it, passing it on to where I'm able to see other kids take it to where I never took it.
Yeah.
Because like last year, our girls team made it all the way to the semifinals and playoffs.
Nice.
And they did amazing.
So I see you're also doing soccer too.
Oh yeah, soccer season. Shout out to my soccer team out there.
Yeah, you're making it far. So
I mean, all my sports.
So you're dabbling into everything, right?
Yes.
You're a soccer coach, dance coach, basketball coach. What is it
I
like?
helped with volleyball.
Okay,
and
volleyball.
then last year I coached track.
Okay.
I was gonna coach track this year again, but it was for volunteer basis. I think because they didn't have the funds for it, so it's kind of like
So juggling all of that, how do you make time for family time? Is it just you and your wife? You have no kids?
No kids yet.
No kids yet.
That's the next step.
Gotcha.
But my wife, like, I do all this because my wife is very understanding. because my schedule is ridiculous, like just from the things that he's mentioned. But yeah, shout out to my soccer team. We're 10-0. We have our first playoff game
That's what's up.
tomorrow.
Heck yeah.
We have our first semifinal playoff game tomorrow. So hopefully we win and we go to the championship. So we have an undefeated record right now.
That's
so we
what's
did go.
up.
But like you said, family time. We do see our moms every Sunday.
Time management again.
Yeah, it's very challenging though. It's tough. Like I can honestly say that I don't have a social life. Like we're always working. Like I have no social life. Like I don't even get to chill and hang out with crew members like I used to in the past, friends. Like, I mean, I know we're doing this podcast and stuff like that, but this is like a fun, cool time too, where we're just talking and, you know, I don't
want to kind of geek it
out.
out. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't have a lot of that because we're always on the go, always moving. Like just before he got here, I had to pack the car right now with tables and chairs because we got 2 rentals tomorrow. Right? Yeah, because we're doing the rental business.
Guy,
so
how many people are you, bro?
It's a lot. It's like I can't say it's a blessing and a curse. It's a full-on blessing because what we have, we're very, very blessed. I mean, look, the art, like this is the X Lab. This is where I train. Like beautiful mural. Shout out to Kitty and Massey for doing the murals on both sides. But it's like, huh?
Yeah,
no, I didn't do it. She did it. She painted it, not me. I can't take that credit. But I felt like everything that we do is because of the blessings that we have. Right. And I just got to keep going because I guess in my head, I want more. Not just for myself, but for my family and my future kids that I have. Like I want to provide so much to where I want to work so hard now. So when we do have kids, my time can go towards them and raising them. Yeah.
Gotcha. So we'll go taking it back to on booking you. So if you ever want to have like a dance event, say the battles and stuff, or so how you had it at Sky Bar.
Yeah.
What all did you guys do? Was it like just come in, show your thing? Did y'all have battles there?
Yeah. So we did a whole competition there, and we rewarded the first, second, and third place. So if there's other establishments out there that want to collaborate with NXG Dance Crew to host a dance competition, we're more than welcome. We can work with whatever budget that you're providing. And we will coordinate the whole thing for y'all. Because that's our experience is event coordination when it comes to dance competitions for the culture.
Gotcha. So put on some entertainment for your guests. Okay. I got you. What are some of the biggest challenges you've faced in your training and how did you overcome it?
Making time. Right now is making time. Because, you know, all the stuff that I'm trying to balance and stuff, by the time I get home, I'm done. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. But I still make time to work out because I got to like stay in shape and stuff. So I feel like I haven't been training like I should have, preparing for the events coming up. But that's why I'm making time, like I said, within the next 3 days where we don't have a booking. I'm going to like get back hard into training. So it's like, I would say is making time, like talking right now. But back then it was easier. Like I was younger. I wasn't married. I had a lot of free time to do what I wanted. So I would put time to training. I think that's why back then when I was competing and stuff, I was on my A game. I didn't hit my prime, but I was on my A game. Like you never catch me slipping, basically.
Gotcha. What advice would you give to an aspiring dancer?
Do everything. Like I take as many classes as you can, invest in yourself, travel, and figure out what avenue you want to be in, whether it's performing, teaching at the studio, or teaching at a community center. If you want to do battling, that's cool too. But I just highly encourage, like, do what your heart wants you to do, because there's so many different avenues that you could be successful with in dance. There's not just one. I'm just speaking from experience. I've dabbled in all of them and I love all of them. So if you want to do all of them, you can.
Open up your lanes. Don't just stick to one person and one style.
Learn from everybody.
Yes. Awesome. Love it. Professional experiences. Tell me about some of your most memorable performances and projects. Oof. Give me your best, I guess you could say battling. Let's put into battling. Your toughest, I don't say rival, but your toughest battle and one that sticks out to you.
So, man, I have a lot, but I think the one that I'm going to talk about is a battle when I called out Ruin in California. So this was a crump battle, street battle after an event, and he's my favorite crumper, still my favorite crumper, really, really phenomenal dancer. called him out like a couple years ago. Then when we finally saw each other in person, that's when we battled. In California, like I'm known as a material and combo head, where like I come up with like stuff for your eye, like, oh, that was a cool move, that was a cool move. But in California, there's always that thing is like when you go to the birthplace of Crump, you got to make sure your basics are on point and solid. So I focused on just, you know, using the basics and didn't really use my tricks and stuff because that wasn't going to be the thing that people like give hype to and stuff. So I kind of like handicapped myself because I am going up against a phenomenal dancer, and I didn't dance to like use everything that I had in my arsenal because I wanted to fit in the box of how they want me to dance.
Gotcha.
So it's like I kind of messed up myself. But during that battle too, I still had that fire to where I wasn't scared to battle him.
Right.
But I did handicap myself because I was trying to fit in a box of how I should dance for them rather than dancing for myself and using my tricks, using my combos. So I kind of felt when I look back to that battle, it's like, man, that was a missed opportunity and missed reason for me to like just do what I'm known for, if that makes sense. But I love that battle because one, I battled my favorite dancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Is there any time where you kind of like, oh man, this guy's good, but you ended up coming up on top?
Oh yeah, many tournaments and competitions that I've won. So I had kind of like the curriculum that I teach. It's called Take 'em to School. That was kind of like my bread and butter that the crew helped me with, and kind of like what came to how I articulated my style and what I did during events and tournaments, to where I've battled and beat a lot of dancers that were way better than me just because of my strategies, my battle tactics, and how I execute the floor after seeing what they did, or dancing first and setting the bar high to where they can't reach, or getting in their heads.
Gotcha.
So it's a lot of different battle tactics to use when you battle.
Gotcha. So give it some advice. What if like, okay, somebody wanted to battle me and I'm like, oh man, I just know, like I said, I'm always scared to battle somebody, right? So what advice would you give me? Like if somebody calls me out for a battle, I'm like, Marques, man, I'm nervous, bro. It's my first battle. Like, what advice would you give me?
The best advice I would give you is to stay within your realm, like do what you know. Confidence in all movements, and look up. Like always show that you're looking eye to eye and direct your energy to your opponent. And like I said, like you stay devoted to what you do. Like don't try to do stuff that you don't know or don't practice, because then that's when
you're gonna fall off. You're gonna fall or trip or something.
Definitely.
Gotcha. I think that would be my worst enemy. I'll try to do something that I've never practiced before and end up.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you stay motivated and passionate about dance, especially during challenging times?
Sheesh. I say a challenging time is all the time, because since I teach dance for a living, it already turned into a job. So sometimes when like I need to train, it's like I'm already danced out because I've been teaching dance all day. Like I'm kind of like over it, where I don't want to train. So it's kind of like I said before, I have to make time for it and I have to force myself to do it. But you know the blessings that I have been given to where I got booked for these events coming up, like it's my job now. Where now it's a job to where the people that booked me are expecting a certain version of myself. So it's like, okay, bet, like you're asking me to come out, you're paying my way there, bet I'm gonna give you the show that you want. So
it's either I'm gonna show you what you saw or better. That's the way.
Oh yeah, I told them like that's why I've been in the gym for the past month. Like I'm getting in shape and everything before I start training. So it's kind of like getting my new body, and then once I have my new body, it's kind of like now training it to the best version. So I think I'm gonna be at the best version of myself with these events coming up. Like I'm like a whole different beast.
Nice. What are some of the most rewarding aspects of being a dancer?
Rewarding aspects. That's a really good question. I would say, that's a really good question. Rewarding aspect, I would say that I have a non-traditional type of career, if that makes sense, and it pays all my bills. I think that's the most rewarding thing ever is being able to say that I'm a full-time dancer and I get paid for what I love to do. I think that's the
Awesome.
most rewarding things that I can say. Besides the health benefits, right? How it
Yeah.
keeps you in shape.
Yeah. But another thing is like with this, like say like if it is your full-time job, I mean, it doesn't come with health benefits.
Yeah. So luckily for me, I do work.
With the
I'm a
school.
teacher. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
school. So I'm contracted by the school. So I do have benefits. But as far as other dancers go, I know it's a little bit challenging because if you work at a studio or you're a performer, sometimes you have to get your own insurance and stuff, and sometimes that could be very, very expensive. So I would say like now there's a lot of opportunities where you can become a dance teacher and stuff and get benefits and stuff. So if that's you looking, I would say to continue looking and keep searching because they're out there. There's more positions out there for dance than what we realize.
Right. Yeah, I would say so. Like with me, I didn't think I'd be into the dance community than what I am now.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, okay, let's do this and meeting you guys and going to the shows and getting involved. I think it's awesome. It's an awesome time. And I'm not the kind of person that's like, I'm gonna go just to do my set and then I'm gonna leave. What would you have to say about people like that? I think I've seen sometimes people, they go there, do their set, and then
And
dip
then
out.
bounce. Yeah. So
Just
that-
show support. In order to get support, you need to show support.
Yep, that's very true. Because that's how I mean that's how it is, and I guess it depends on the person too. Because
Yeah.
now that I know that I'm on the other side, where now that I'm married and we have other things to do, because before I would always stay for the entire show, I'll be there all day watching everybody, and then it's like now that it has come to a time where I would say probably 2 or 3 times where I went somewhere, had to do our set, and then we had to leave because we had to go pick up our booking and stuff. So it's like
That would be different.
it's yeah,
That would be
it's,
different.
It's different because now I need to go somewhere else, or if you have another booking,
Maybe
to
I
where you gotta
shouldn't
go
speak
perform.
before I
different.
judge. Yeah.
No. But
I mean,
it's different.
maybe
It's
that was their
different
case.
because there is some dancers that you've come in contact with that they are like that, where or if they lose the competition, they leave.
No, I haven't seen that.
That
So
happens. That has happened a lot.
one thing that I want to direct it to and to rephrase myself. I've seen some people they go and then they have a big old, and it's not within the dance.
Yeah.
I've seen it with other people too. Artists like they sing or rap or whatever. They go to the show, they stay there, and then they end up creating their own thing outside. They're out there flowing, and then I'll be like, "What are y'all doing?" And I'm gonna put it out there. I guess you can say like my nephew. He would do music, and he would get some bookings as well. And him and some friends are outside. They're talking. I'm like, hey, y'all gotta show these people some love.
Yeah.
If you want them to show you some love,
You gotta show
show
the same
them.
love
And that's
back.
where I'm kind of directing it to. So yeah, in order to earn respect, you have to give it.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
If you're
I
there,
think generations are different though too.
Yeah.
I think it's changing so much to where
it could be a part of growth.
yeah, I think it's a generational shift though too, because I see it within the students that I teach, and it's kind of like it wasn't intentionally, but that's how they're learning to where they always get stuff without working for it. So it's kind of like they don't view it how we view it, because back then, I mean, I would just speak for millennials. Back then, we had to earn what we wanted. We had to work hard to gain something, and I feel like some part of the new generation coming up does not understand that concept. They want to be handed.
Yeah, I think it'll come with growth though, because I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I was ever like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but as far as like seeing something like a dance group, and then I would say on my half, somebody saying, "Oh, we could do better than we can do better than." I tell them, "No, don't ever think like that. Don't be like that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we go to whenever I have booked for quinceañeras, and then we go with my dancers. And if somebody else gets in the middle, hype them up.
Yeah.
Not just nah. You know what I mean? Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're about hyping up everybody. You get in the middle. You know, you're doing windmills, you're breakdancing. I'm not gonna be there going nah like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not my style, and that's not what I'm trying to teach either. What are some common misconceptions about dancers or the dance world that you would like to address?
Misconceptions. I guess it just pertains to, I guess, the new dancers coming up in the game that are just stuck on TikTok. As far as, like, there's nothing wrong with learning dances that are trends and stuff, but I would say don't get caught up to where, like, say if you do get a lot of followers and stuff doing mainstream dances that are like kind of like,
The trend.
I would say, yeah, trend choreography where it's not like there's levels to it. That there's always levels to it, whether it's freestyle, whether it's choreography, whatever it may be. I feel like there's just this different wave of mindset to where if you have more followers than another dancer, they automatically put themselves in the top that, oh, I'm a better dancer than you. And it's kind of like, not really. Followers do not protect your reputation, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's one misconception to where people go towards, well, I have this many follower count, or what's your view count? What's like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's very, what's that word? I guess it's just very focused on it's a numbers game.
It's like what we said. The wrong people are getting the attention versus the real talent.
True. In some aspects, yes.
Yeah, because I would say with TikTok, it's something else. You're doing a 30-second dance versus performing for like 5 minutes. Because I know when I perform for 5 minutes, I'm winded, bro.
Yeah.
And then 30 seconds, it's like, I mean, you're following a trend, you know, and they do get the most. I mean, I mean, sometimes whenever I hear people say, "Oh, Dimitri, oh yeah, he's a TikTok dancer," or he's this, they trying to throw labels at me, and I'm like, I don't think I am, but I mean, it's whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, TikTok is what got me my first music video.
That's good.
So yes, and it wasn't on mine; it was on somebody else's. It was with AJ's.
Yeah.
AJ got us to be the AJ Rivas. Shout out to you. He wanted us to be the backup dancer for a song he had to promote, and I was like, sure. And then so we did it, and then that's when the artist was like, oh, who are those dancers?
That's
He's
good.
like, bring it on board. So TikTok can do some good for you, but if the way I see it is like, if you're just doing the trend, you know what I mean? Which is, that one wasn't really a TikTok trend.
Yeah.
It was kind of our own thing. We were the trendsetter.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to look at it like that, but yeah. So,
and I think it's good too. I mean, if you
it
want
could
to
do a lot for
if you
you
want to do
guys.
TikTok dances and do trends, hey, do it. Like whatever you want to do. Like it's not about this is how you do it, this is how you don't do it. I just see it as like, if you're gonna learn different dance styles and stuff, educate yourself on the styles. Don't disrespect the styles. Make sure you do your research on them and learn from people who do it. And yeah, I feel like if you could be an all-around dancer, that's what's going to help you grow and become a very, very successful person.
Right. Because, like, I mean, with my TikTok, I mean, I don't mean to brag. To me, it's nothing. You know, I got over 7,000 followers.
good.
And,
That's
you know,
really good.
people are like, oh, you're famous, you're TikTok famous. I'm like, I don't see it as that. You know what I mean? It's just, again, I do what I love to do, and then I post it, and I'm not, oh, man, I only got 10 views. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to fight for 19K, nothing, whatever. To me, it's just, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like TikTok is a hoax because other people post other people's videos, and it's like that gets a lot of attention, and or
using
the
other
trend.
people's comment.
Yeah, you know,
using other people's content.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
I think it happens that way because you can make money off of it.
and you can, but then I don't know. Hey, if I stay at 7,000, over 7,000 followers for the next 3, 4, 5 years, I'm cool with that.
That's good. Like when you really think about it, I saw a video on it where it says where you like put yourself in a movie theater, and it's like how you said you have 7,000 followers. That would feel like a whole different type of venue. Rather than,
you know, I think like that too. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think like that too.
I remember watching that video and I was like, oh dang, like I never perceived it that way. Because like if you only get like people say if they want to do the numbers game, if you only get like 10 likes on a post or like on a video, it's like if you think about it, it's like if you have a party that's like 10 people that are supporting you, whether it's a simple like or a share, and it's like it goes.
I think for me, it doesn't matter on the followers. For me, it matters on the likes, I guess, because people can be liking your stuff but not following you.
True.
You know, so at the end, I mean, I don't go by the number games. You know, I'm not big headed like that. I'm like, oh no, like I got more followers than you. You're down there. I'm up here. Nah, that's.
Yeah.
How do you stay current with the latest trends and techniques in any style you want? It can be tutting, it can be waving, crump, because it's always evolving. Dance is
Yeah.
always evolving to something else, and you can change something. You can change, say, cumbias, like how I think Bianca said it. You can take cumbias and you can put it into crump. I think I've seen Monse or Jinx, however she goes by her name, but I know it's Monse. She's using cumbia music and she's crumping with it,
Yeah.
kind of in a way. If I'm wrong, if I'm right or wrong, but
I mean, you can, the way I see it is like if you know how to dance a certain style, you can incorporate it to any genre of music.
right,
It all comes down to your articulation of how you do your style. Like, I can put on some cumbia songs and I can wave to it. You know what I mean? I can put on some cumbia songs, I can pop to it, I can
It'll be a
tut to
new
it, I can
thing.
crump to it. But to answer your question, I just feel like the way that stays up to date is technically, since I haven't been training like I should be, I would say that I rely more on my experience and what I have and what I know and my knowledge, because I felt like my IQ is really high. It's just that I haven't had time to train all that knowledge
Right.
to catch my body up to my IQ, because I know my IQ in dance is really, really high. It's just that I need to catch up my physical part and making time to train. So I feel like to keep up with trends and stuff is just to make sure that your knowledge is up to date on certain dance styles. You're following dancers who are, you know, dropping gems on different stuff, new concepts, new ways of executing a style and stuff like that. It's just staying in the know.
Gotcha. Are you watching like other videos as well? Like,
No,
no, I
I
can't
could
do it
be,
that time.
I don't like. Back then, I used to watch a lot of footage, like just studying different footage of dancers that would get me inspired to like, okay, I'm gonna go practice now. 'Cause
Right.
this dancer's dope. But now it's like, man, I don't even make time or have time to watch footage or battles like I used to.
Gotcha.
Like back then, I would like watch a lot of dancers, and then now it's kind of like I'm already in a mode and I guess position in my life to where it's like I'm not focused on anybody.
Right.
I'm really not like,
Okay.
and it's not to sound selfish or anything
No,
like
no,
that.
no,
It's just
no.
I don't have the time for it, and I don't
Yeah.
be following people's journeys and stuff. It's just I've been so focused on the journey that I'm on, balancing.
He's got a family to take care of.
Balancing the schedule that I have is it's crazy.
Okay. What events do you have coming up?
So the events that are coming up for San Antonio that I know of is the Crump versus Flex. That's going to be in May, the ending of May. That's going to be at Smash Dance Studio. You go to my Facebook page, you'll see it on there. Posted it on our Twitter, our YouTube page, and our Facebook page for NXG Dance Crew. There's another event in Texas, in Bryant, Texas. It's an open styles event, and there's Crump battles lined up. That's the other one that I got booked for. It's in the beginning of May, and then that's as far as I know when it comes to events within Texas that I know about. Back then, I used to be more in tune with like what competitions are coming up and stuff. Like I'm honestly out of the loop. I'm not in tune with the community like I used to be with dance competitions and stuff, because these past few weekends I've just been booked with our bookings.
So the one that's in May, Battle versus Flex, that one's the one I see a lot. Hopefully I can attend. Love to see that. Again, I'm trying to get more active into the community as well, going to events, even though if I'm not performing, you know, like I said, Monte, I'm a friend of hers, or she's a friend of mine, you know. If I see Kid Raw, I wouldn't know who he is, but I always hear about him and I'm always watching his video. Yeah. And so, but yeah, I kind of want to get more into the events and attending the event. So I'll be there if I can. So if you had to pick a style to battle in, what would it be? So you have your Flex and Crump style. Say, Marcus, we want you to battle. You get to pick anything you want to battle in. What would it be?
I'd probably pick Crump because I feel more free within Crump, because I can mix my other styles within Crump. and turn them into, that's where I get my material and combos from, is utilizing other styles. I think that's what always made me different and ahead of my time back in the day. Because back in the day, I would use waving and tutting and popping and different groundwork from other styles back then, but kind of got looked down on it because it wasn't crump back then. But now everybody's mixing every
You're
different
right,
style
yeah.
with crump. And now, since it's the trend and it's acceptable, now everybody's doing it.
Gotcha.
But I can say that I was on that wave before everybody was on that wave. They were hating on it back then. I wasn't a well-respected crumper coming up in the game in my early years.
Haters create you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I
So,
mean, hey, it made me successful because
There you
it
go.
made me work harder.
what is it? Haters are my motivators.
True.
Yeah.
Or I always say that, I've always said for years, haters are just confused admirers.
There you go. That's a good one to look at it as.
Because
Okay.
the way I always saw it is that you always watching.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're just a confused admirer. So, hey,
That's awesome.
it is what it is.
Has there ever been a type of style that you dance now that was a challenge for you?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say popping. Because I know how to hit and I know how to pop. And I think one of my biggest struggles back then was staying on the music. Because I was always a combo, move, trick person. Meaning I had the big blow up moves, I had the big blow up combos. And sometimes they would land on the music and sometimes they won't land on the music. But since my concepts and creativity was so high of putting the combos together, people would be like, oh my gosh, he's so dope, even though I was off of the music. So it was like my biggest weakness for years was musicality. And then
okay.
now coming up, like, I guess, polishing everything back is like now that I'm able to like boom, 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 like hit all my combos with the music and it makes it more effective. So that's why I felt like now within this wave that I'm coming in to where I'm gonna start training and stuff, I'm gonna be the best version I've ever been.
Gotcha. How would you describe if you're teaching how to pop? So one way that I was taught how to pop is that when you move, when you stop, act like you got scared.
Yeah.
Right. Act like somebody scared you.
That's the first I heard that, but that was
Really?
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Like you're
I
moving.
mean, when popping first started, it's posing hard. Like all you gotta do is pose, like it's posing hard. But then once the style started getting more, elevated and advanced, that's when you started adding, like, no, you're actually hitting, you're flexing your muscles. So popping is just flexing your muscles. That's all it is. It's the flex and relaxation of your muscles. So when you relax your muscles, that's the in between, and then you hit. That's like whatever part of the song that you're trying to make pop or make articulate, like that's where you utilize the pop, which is the flexing of your muscles.
Okay, alrighty. I think it's well said. It's better the way you said it. It's better than mine. Getting scared.
No, like getting scared is like that's a good way that you could teach it too. I mean, you could teach that like teaching kids. Like that's a fun way to teach kids. I might even use that too because we have the popping lesson coming up soon after the STAR testing.
Gotcha. Do you have any classes coming up, and when can you take them? And
Oh, like for public.
public or
So I mean,
where do you teach?
I teach in Cashville Authentic Dance Studios. So I teach hip hop 3 there. And then, of course, my full-time career, I teach 5th and 6th graders dance. But I think if you want to take classes from me, the only way you can is just private lessons. Like, just hit me up. Contact me. I can teach private lessons. It could be one-on-one. It could be group of 2, group of 3, your whole family. Like, you let me know. I work with prices and budgeting and stuff. So it could be whatever. It's catered to what you want to learn.
Yeah. So I invited you once for with the group that I had, and actually I knew what crump was. I knew the concept of it, but you did actually you taught me more than what I already knew. So thank you for that. So again, crumping is just like you see it, but there's more to it than just seeing it and copying it. All right. So if you can, so if you could have any superpower related to dancing, what would it be?
I don't think teleporting is related to dance, right? But that would always be my superpower. But I would say, like, I guess to answer the question, to dance, if I were to trade, I would say I could change the question. If I would ever trade any of my styles for another style of dance, Because I think that's a good way to say it too. Just to keep it dance related. I would trade all my styles of dance to do breakdancing. Because
Yeah.
breaking is probably the most disciplined and hardest style and challenging
is.
style to do.
It really
So I would
is.
change. Like I would
I've tried
definitely
to
like.
learn it, man.
I can't learn it at this age. I'm good.
I mean,
I am
at
good.
21, you can't learn. No. What is your favorite dance song or music genre?
Oof.
Actually, when I look it up, crump is a music genre.
Oh yeah, it is.
I
It
didn't
has
know
its
that
own
until
genre
I
and
started
culture.
posting up.
Yeah, I would have to say. I would say hip hop. Like I just love hip hop. 90s hip hop. The one that just gets that groove going.
Yes.
That type of hip hop. And I mean, you always hear the remix versions on the radios where they're bringing back the old instrumentals and different parts of the song from back in the day too. So,
Have you ever heard of Sikik?
which one?
Sikik? He's got the mask. He's a DJ guy. He's got some dope.
Oh, send
He's
me
got
the
some.
links.
He's got some dope music. Like, yeah. We can't
Send
play
me
it
the
on here,
links.
right? We don't want to get muted.
Yeah, they will mute us.
In case you guys don't know, just a reminder: I had an opportunity to interview with Marcus before, but we were playing music in the background, and YouTube muted the whole thing. So yeah, so that's
No
round two.
content. Yeah.
Round two. I think it will play a little bit, but I think the music was off.
And muted a lot of
What is the most unusual thing you've ever done related to dancing?
unusual thing related to dancing. I don't know if it was unusual, but I think the most random gig I ever done was probably when I had to do it in a costume, like dance in a costume. It was hot. It was hot.
I've done that.
Would not do it again because I almost fainted in that mascot. So yeah.
What is a fun fact about you that most people don't know? And I guess it can be about dancing.
Well, no, that would be the typical thing, right? They know I like dancing. They
They
know
know
I
it
do
could be in
basketball. So a fun fact. I guess a good fun fact would be. I think people know too that I'm a low-key nerd because of. I mean, look at the backdrop.
That's not a nerd.
for Dragon Ball Z, well, anime. I mean, back then, that's what we were viewed as.
Yeah.
When we liked anime and stuff, they categorized us as nerds. I would say a fun fact to me, I do like playing video games on my free time
When he has
with the wifey. Yeah, when we have time, we play Mario Party. So I like video games. I like playing video games. I was a big video game head.
Yeah.
For a while, yeah. But I guess as life goes on, like
Do you watch
sometimes
wrestling?
you don't. Huh?
Watch wrestling?
Oh, I used to watch
Really?
wrestling
Yeah,
back
same
then.
here.
Like
Now we don't know who anybody
I don't
is.
know anybody now,
No.
but my era was with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The
Oh, yeah,
Undertaker, Kane, The Rock. That's when I was heavy into wrestling. That era.
I think for me it was John Cena and Randy Orton.
Yeah, I think my brother.
Their storylines. I think they were the last
When
two.
their storylines came in, that was my brother. Like it
Yeah.
kind of passed on to my brother because I didn't watch those.
Those are all the questions that I have. So right now, is there
Mm-hmm.
anything that you have the opportunity to talk about? Anything you want to address? Like, no beef or anything, just like something you just want to put out there.
Beef. No, I'm just kidding.
Guy now.
In all honesty, I mean, when it comes to dance career and stuff, I don't have no beef with anybody. If people have beef with me, hey, that's your problem. Like,
Okay.
I've been out of everybody's way for I don't know how many years. I don't.
But what is one thing that you kind of want to put out there as far as like being in the dance community? What is one thing in San Antonio that the dance community needs,
Sheesh.
or a few things?
Collaboration, organization, community. San Antonio needs a lot. Like, we're the most behind dance community compared to Houston and Dallas. And it's been like that for years. Whether it's the street dance community, whether it's the studio community, whether it's the choreography
difference.
community, whether it's the performing arts community, like everything is just spread out. We don't use the resources. We don't bring the resources together. We don't work together. I mean, we support each other, but we don't collaborate on one big project. And
That would be dope.
I mean, yeah, it would be dope. I mean, everybody talks about it for years, about bringing everything together, working together.
And it's not
but
about.
it just never happens. Like,
It's not about like you're in this dance crew. I can't work with you, kind of thing. Or like it's about the dance groups coming together.
yeah. I mean, I feel like people
It doesn't have to be dance
people
crew.
like to say it, but being about it is one whole different thing. And I feel like people like to, I call it politicking, because you want to talk about it, post about it, preach it, but then when it comes down to the nitty gritty, people ain't about it. And hey, it's okay. Like, I mean, I've tried to do it for so many years, and it just never connected the way I envisioned it, if that makes sense. And it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, you do what you got to do, and if people don't want to collaborate and stuff, it's like, okay, that's fine.
It's
like,
fine.
I'm not going to hold it against you. It's just, don't preach about it if you ain't about it. And I mean, to me, that's why it's kind of like, I just took a different path to where now it's like, I feel like I'm not like heavy on like dance like I used to be, because now I'm focused on the teaching, the career part of it, and spreading the love of dance for those that want to learn about it, and spreading the community. And I mean, look, with the Crump versus Flex, I'm collaborating with somebody from Dallas. With the Mortal Butt Crump Olympics that we did last year and the year before, I collaborated with another coordinator from Dallas. So, and then with the whole Skybar situation, people were attacking them, and I was like, no, like, let's collaborate and do something. So it's like a lot of our past projects. And then, I mean, we've collaborated with Polka Fest almost every year on bringing like dancers on the show, and they want to collaborate with us again. And I think the event's in November. I actually need to reach back out to them. I need to get that situated. But it's like, I'm like, if you look at my body of work, you see that I practice what I preach.
Right.
I don't just talk and try to put myself in a certain limelight, like, oh yeah, I do this, I do that. And this is like, no, look at my body of work.
Right.
My work talks for me. Like, if I do the talking, like, I'm a visionary, I'm a talker, and I'm a doer. I'm all three combined. I'm not just one.
Right.
And I mean, when people talk about like how Steve Jobs was, he was the visionary, and he had people do what he needed done to meet his vision. And there's always people who, and I feel like a lot of dancers are like that. They see the vision, then they do the vision. Like, we as artists, it's like we are multiple people,
right?
Because we are like the total package, as they say. So I guess to me, I guess my only call to action is to, I would love to see all our studios in our city come together for one big, whether it's a competition or just celebration. I mean, look at how many colleges we have here. They probably have all these dance programs that I don't even know about. Look at all the schools that have performing arts and dance teachers.
Like a 3-day event or something. That'd be, oh dude, that just came to the top of my head.
I think it's we can do so many big things in San Antonio. It's just connecting the people and working with each other, and
it's not about
putting the pieces together. And I think that's the hardest part, because whether people want to admit it or not, they kind of want their name up there and they want to be recognized and stuff. And it's hard for people to take, sometimes as artists, it's hard for us to take a step back and push forward our resources so we can all combine each other for one big thing. Because I feel like as a studio, I understand, because you're a studio owner. If you were to do something like that, you might lose students to another studio. And then not just that you want to keep those students, it's just those students bring you money to pay your studio bills.
So for one example you're trying to put is like, let's just say I have my set of kids, I teach this. I don't teach crump, but then let's say my kids see you crump, like, oh, I want to go to Marques' studio. I always support that. I say I always support that. You want to go learn how to crump, go to his studio. I'm all for it. And that's what I tell my students, you know, like I tell them, like, don't be afraid to go to branch out. You know, if you want to learn this, go teach it. If you want, you know, I'll link you up with the right person to take you to, you know. So that's always what I preach.
And I guess my plug too. So I guess I'll put in a plug. Those for choreography for quinceañeras. This guy right here.
Thank you.
VOP Dance Studio, because I know they've been in the community for a long time. I still do choreography for quinces and sweet 16s. Just my schedule's kind of crazy, so you got to catch me on a good time where I'm free and available. But if not, I forward them to him or VOP.
Yeah.
For Crump, contact Hybrid, or I need to use real names. Israel, Bianca,
Okay,
Jameer, KC.
See, I need to start. I need to start
Yeah,
using
like all
their
their,
tags.
yes,
I know them
all
by
their
the
names,
government
because
names.
so that's the Crump community, SDs, 80s, high Gant, like their whole, they do like trainings every Tuesday, I believe, and they're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do
yeah,
sessions.
yeah.
So
I've
they're
been
very
there a couple
active
of
in the
times.
Crump community. So if you want to learn Crump, you can reach out to them, as well as myself. I teach Crump too, but I'm using this to plug everybody. Popping, there's Popping Artie, or Artie Nanez,
I think I've seen
Dante,
his
which is
name.
Inferno, Stevie Ray Raw, which is Steven Carrasco. Let's see, Hip Hop, Ebo, Albert, Kid Raw, Breaking, Kid Raw, Ninja, like just plugging in all the dancers that I know that are still active. Like reach out to these people. Like you can learn so much. Learn from everybody. Like everybody's got gems. Everybody's got experiences. Like everybody got knowledge.
So letting you guys know right now, I'm scouting. I'm scouting right now to be a part of the podcast, and I'm watching a little bit of everybody's journey, and everybody's what they're doing. You know what I mean? And
You should
I'll message
advance.
you guys if I like what you're doing. I'll message you guys, and or if you just want to come on and have some fun. We'll geek dance.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll send you some people too,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
can reach out to
definitely,
them,
definitely.
because this, like, I feel like I told you too when we first did it at, what was that place called? Was it Chatterbox? No, not Chatterbox.
Oh no, wait. Oh
What was
yeah,
the place
yeah.
called?
Chatterbox.
Chatterbox, yeah.
Yeah.
When we did it, the Chatterbox, like I told you, like, dude, you're doing something that's good for our community, because who knows, you could be the segue or the bridge that brings everything together, because it takes people like you to do something like this, to reach out to dancers, to get their stories and stuff. And it's kind of like people who are watching this, dancers that know you, but that have no idea who I am.
Right.
But I've been in the scene for over years and years and years. It's like, oh, now I know. And
Right.
like you're the one, who's to say, you're the one that's going to be connecting the dots and puzzle pieces for our community, and it's what's needed.
And I think it gives an opportunity for everybody to be like, hey, maybe Marcus isn't a bad guy as much as I thought I was.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
it's the videos,
the
you know what I mean?
beefs
And I
and
think,
drama, yeah.
I think it's the videos that are like, oh, like it's what kind of sets the tone that like, oh, he's gonna be egotistic, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And so
definitely, because I've gotten that for years. I can come off as overconfident sometimes. To me, it's like I know what I bring to the table.
Right.
That's how I've always been for years.
I need to
and
get
I think
like
it's
that.
like I've always known my worth for years. And I feel like maybe that was kind of misread as, oh, he's too cocky, he's this, he's that. But it's like, no, I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table, and I come in full force. I give you everything. I don't leave crumbs. Like, I give you everything that I have. And that's why I always felt like I'm confident in who I am.
yeah, and he's a big. You support everybody.
Oh, yeah.
He's been supporting me. Like since the day I met him, since the day of the first chat. You know what I mean? He gives me my kudos and stuff where everything I've been. So I want to thank you also.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, there's room for everybody to be
Right.
great. There's room for, and that's why, when I'm not available, I pass on these gigs and opportunities to other people that need them. Because at the end of the day, it's about spreading the wealth. Because it's like, that's when the money doesn't come in. Like for you, if you're trying to be a gatekeeper, you get all these, oh, I can't do it, sorry. Then it's like,
tough, man.
it cuts that connection
Yeah,
with
it
that
gets tough.
client. And then it's like, oh, well, but then if I can't do it, pass it on to you. It's like, oh,
gets tough.
and then when they talk to them, oh, who do you get that? And boom, like you create a network.
Yeah, because I think the most I ever juggled quinceañeras was 6.
16
Quinceañeras. And I was working full time, dude. No, dude, bro, I tired myself out, and that's why I know what I can handle and what I can't handle.
Yes.
I tired myself out. I even usually I don't get frustrated with the students. Secretly, I was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
And it was like I don't want to go to practice, and I was tired of
Burnout.
myself. I
Burnout is real.
I burned myself out.
Burnout is
Thank
real.
goodness it was after when I told you I stopped looking for a while for reasons being. Thank goodness it was right after that, because after that I had to take that break.
Yeah,
But I'm back, you guys.
And dancers, sometimes breaks are needed. If you reach a wall
Yes.
where you feel like
Take
you're
your
not
breaks.
getting better, take your breaks.
Yes.
Take your breaks. But other than that, I guess to end off the video, y'all can reach out to me on Facebook, YouTube. We do have a TikTok. I try to stay consistent with uploads. It's hard to stay consistent with all these social media, but yeah, mainly you can reach out to me on Facebook, I'm older, so that's kind of like my go-to. If you have questions, if you want to set up private lessons, I'm open. We'll work with the schedule and make things work. And this guy's amazing. Keep supporting him. Subscribe, share, like, and spread the word for those that that he can come out and interview and so on and so forth.
Share your journey. I'm nosy. I want to know everybody's journey and the struggle. And put a little deep thought in it, like, I don't know, but get emotional.
The struggle is real. That's why I work so hard. That's why I'm doing so much. The struggle is real.
Yeah,
it's real.
I think what makes it worse is that how everybody is against each other.
It happens. It's the crabs in a bucket mentality sometimes, and sometimes life is what it is, and you just gotta go.
Yeah.
Don't wait on others.
Nah. So any questions, anything else you want to put out there? Any questions for me? A few questions before we end this?
I mean, I would say it's not more like questions for you. I would just say to keep going. Keep this going, because this is starting something that can be huge. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it can lead to something bigger than what you probably even thought of. Right. And I feel like this is a good way to get active with certain stuff. And yeah, man, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate
I'm really proud of you for saying yes to the gigs that I threw your way.
Yeah.
Because I was already, I don't know how you're able to juggle 4. I think the most I've juggled was 2 on top of the studios and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's too much. That's a lot. Kudos to you. Thanks. Yeah, man, keep it up, keep pushing, keep grinding, and I'm excited to see how this evolves into something bigger.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
My next guest says he's not going anywhere. He's here to stay in San Antonio. Breakdancer and street performer Daniel Valadez will be joining me Sunday, March 6th to tell his story on his viral video with his consistent run-in with SAPD for street dancing in a public environment. So tune in on that one, you guys. You don't want to miss that one. That's going to be, I got a lot of questions for him.
Yeah, shout out D Loco. Fun fact, he was a part of NXG too.
Really?
You can ask him about it. Yeah, he was a part of the NXG dynasty. D Loco.
D Loco, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see his videos. About it, bro. I see his videos. I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, what is it? I start putting questions. I'm like, I need to bring him on.
The best street performer in San Antonio, hands
down.
His show's funny. I love it. I'm so proud of him and his journey. And yeah, you can ask him questions about back in the day, because he'll tell you how it was with NXG, man. He will let you know.
Yeah, but I want to dig into that. His viral video that's going around.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good, bro.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for doing this, man. I had a lot of fun. So, signing off, you guys, on the Dance Floor podcast with Marques Mireles, all the right moves. So, thanks for coming on, you guys, and we are signing off. All right, deuces.